So we're gathered here to recognize the passing of Dr. Kekuni Blaisdell, who has made huge contributions, enormous contributions to the medical school, as well as Hawaiian health, the issue of Hawaiian health throughout Hawaii. He is founding faculty of the medical school, so has been with us since the inception of the school all the way through. It's 50 years.
He oversaw the foundation of the Department of Native Hawaiian Health and was our first chair of the Department of Medicine, the first clinical department of the John A. Burns School of Medicine. But I think Kekuni's aura extends well beyond just the School of Medicine where we are today. It extends to a respect and an honoring by all the senior leaders in the field of Native Hawaiian health. And I think that if you were to ask many of us, we would say he is the single shining star, visionary, senior leader in the last generation to move forward Native Hawaiian health.
What makes him so beloved by generations of physicians who he mentored, as well as political activists, is his aloha that he brought every day when you greeted him. He made you feel like you were unique and special, like a great teacher should, and encouraged you to take great risks to do great things.
I first met him when I interviewed with him for a medical school, Duke University Medical School in 1978 here in Hawaii. And thanks to him, I got in. He watched me through my medical school at the University of Pennsylvania, and we reconnected when I was junior faculty here at the School of Medicine in the 1980s. And I was one of his many kokua, traveling with him to Aotearoa, to the continental U.S. As his kokua, and just marveling at what he taught and shared with his aura. He arranged a visit with a senator from Guam for a neurologic condition while 15 years ago I was still at Straub. And he brought the patient in, and then to my surprise, he actually sat down in the room with myself and the patient, and I felt like I was on trial as a student asking the history and getting a physical exam on this patient. It was always the teacher.
I'm not a physician, I'm a psychologist. But he's really meant a lot to many health professionals in our development. In one way, he's been an inspiration for us is that you can still be a health professional, walk in that world, but you can still be kanaka Maori. You can still, in our position, we have a responsibility to advocate and support for the preservation of our culture, preservation of our language, our sacred places. And to Kekuni, it was all about health and well-being. It was more than the physical and simply mental. It was about the spiritual, cultural, and social factors. And he taught a lot of us that. He reminded us a lot about our kuleana and responsibility around that. And that, in fact, even more so, it's a bigger kuleana for us because of our position. So that's what I remember. And just personally, the many hours, conversations I would have with him in our office was right next to each other when he was up here. So I had the opportunity to, talk with him in a way that, it's hard to talk with him out in the public. So I'll miss those conversations. One memory was actually going up to Kaniakapupu, which is up in Nu'uanu. You have to kind of hike in to get there. And it's when I first started the department. This was back in 2004. And a bunch of us wanted to go up. And he wanted to take us up there and, see the place. I just remember him, as old as he was probably in his mid to late 80s at the time, mid 80s. But he was walking strong, faster than us, and I was the youngest one. But I remember as a very strong person, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and that's the memory I always will have of him in that way. Yeah. He was three things, right? Educator, healer, and a protector. He educated our health professionals, our physicians, and other health professionals throughout the decades. He was, of course, a healer of our people. He worked as a physician. but he was also a protector of our well-being, protector of the real issues that he believed affected our health and well-being, again, which was not so much the biology, genetics, and behaviors, but really the social and cultural factors. And he exemplified that in his later life as a sovereignty leader with his sovereignty group called PACOCO, and his strong advocacy in that area. You know, that's a good question. How would he want to be remembered? I think something like the Ahu here, yeah. Something culturally, something that was speaks to what he was about, and not so much him. He was a very humble person. He didn't want the attention for himself, but in that he got the attention because of his humbleness. But yeah, I think something like this. I think us remembering him by improving Native Hawaiian health, advancing Native Hawaiian health, and improving the social and cultural conditions for our people and the people of Hawaii. I think that's the best way.